So forgive this weird lighting today. I've got most of my lights packed up for my YouTube, and I've got my whole house is in boxes. I barely can get by right now, but I want to talk to you today about a strategy that I put in place to help me in this interim move out of state between my 3,500 square foot house to my new house in Idaho. So what I've had to do is think of how can I do storage that I'm not touching, and then things that I need every day for 4 to 6 months. So we have a storage unit that we bought or, rented month to month. And then we've also got a very small apartment. It's just a little 2-bedroom apartment for my husband and I. And I wanted to talk to you about some ideas for packing, for storage, for if you have any kind of a move where you're trying to figure out how to either just move from place to place or how to do a move where you're doing an interim type of stay. I'm going to give you some really good tips on how to do this and how to make it as smooth as possible. I think one of the things that happens when you move anywhere is that by the time you get all your boxes put away and all packed up and you get them to where you're going, it's like you can't find anything for a couple months because you packed your coffee pot with your appliances and your medications are who knows where, I don't know. So this is how I did this move different this time. So I divided my packing into 3 different steps. The first was more of a long-term storage, things that I absolutely don't need to touch for 4 to 6 months. So I have a storage unit. I've got those boxes completely packed up separately. And I want to show you some labels that I bought on Amazon that have made this thing the whole lot easier. So these are the labels that I bought on Amazon. There's tons of different types of labels. I've got fragile, be careful, storage. I've got things for the kitchen. I've got bathroom, bedrooms, everything you could imagine. I bought these labels on Amazon. They were very inexpensive. I think I got like 600 or 900 of them for under $10, something like that. And every single box that's going into storage, like I may label it kitchen, glasses, something like that. It's going to get a storage label, plus it's going to get the kitchen label. If I have bathroom things that are going into storage that I'm not going to need for 4 months, it's going to get a storage label as well as a bathroom label. So all of my boxes right now that are going into storage are all in one area of my home. So when the movers come, they can put those in the back of the truck and get going with storage. The next thing I did was I had them wrap up all of my furniture that was going into storage. Now I'm keeping a little bit of it out to take to the apartment, but anything that's going to the storage is getting wrapped. It's already wrapped up in a nice little area of my house, and that'll go in second, right behind the boxes. So in the storage unit that I got 2 roll-up doors, one on each side, so I can put the things that I'm going to need most often or, I'm going to have to put into the truck quickest, like boxes, that type of thing, and then furniture on the other side. And then the next thing I did was I had things that I needed right away, and that was things that are going into the apartment. Maybe food that I'm going to be eating over the next couple of weeks. Obviously, I'm going to need my bed. I'm going to need my computer so that I can do my YouTube videos. And so I put together kind of a list of the things that I must have, and those I actually am taking to the apartment. If I don't take them myself, like some of these I will take myself just because I don't want the movers moving my computer or something like that. But most of that is going into boxes that are just labeled apartment. And I actually have some little labels in here that don't have anything on them. They're just blank labels. So I'm just putting apartment on them. It's going to make it so much easier when that time comes. And then the third thing that I'm doing is that I'm setting up things that I have to have on me. So maybe valuables, documents, that kind of thing. I put those in a duffel bag. I pretty much have them with me everywhere I'm going. And within the next week, I'm going to be setting up a safe deposit box for 4 to 6 months so I don't have to think about those items. My important papers, my trust documents, my jewelry, whatever it is I have. Nothing super valuable, I'll be honest. I'm not somebody that really has collected a lot of valuables. I just haven't. I don't know why. I think my valuables are more like, things that were handed down to me from other people that I care about. So anyway, I love these labels. I'm going to link them below. If anybody is looking to make a move, make it easier. The next thing that I did is that I bought a big packing pack from U-Haul. Now I had bought boxes from Home Depot. I bought boxes from Lowe's. I even bought some boxes from Walmart. And I'll tell you what, I think the Home Depot ones out of those three were the best, but U-Haul was great. I bought the packing paper, the tape. I bought the boxes, different sized boxes, dish boxes. It was a big packing box, a moving box. It was kind of expensive. I think it was like $400 or something, but it had everything. And I actually have leftover boxes. So when I move from the apartment to our house in Idaho, all I'm going to do is throw everything in those boxes and off we go. The second tip that I would give you going into an apartment for short term is to make up a mini house. And that is exactly what I did. So in my kitchen, I'm not bringing all my pots and pans. I'm not bringing all my glasses, my coffee cups. I'm not doing all that. Instead, I set it up so that I have like a large pan and a small pan. I have one pot. I have a baking dish. I'm actually opted to use paper plates and paper cups from Aldi. Now I am taking regular coffee cups because we do drink our coffee out of coffee cups, but for the time being, I don't want to worry about plates. Instead, I packed all that away for the move. So as far as my silverware, my plates, all that kind of stuff, out. It's already packed. I'm going to be using disposable. It's just going to make my life easier for a very short time. In the kitchen, I'm also taking a coffee maker with my coffee supplies. Now, I'm not taking my big fancy Ninja Luxe coffee maker. I have a regular little coffee pot that I'm taking, and it'll be fine. I'm not going to stress over coffee or anything like that right now. We have a very small refrigerator, so it's already plugged in and cold. We got our keys yesterday to the apartment. So this weekend, I'm just moving all of what's in my refrigerator in a nice chest over to the other refrigerator. I've got some canned goods. I've got some different things, really food for like a month. So I will be back to making my Trim Healthy Mama meals in just a week or so. Bear with me. I'm in complete chaos right now, and I can't really, get to a lot of things that I need to get to. In the bathroom, we're just bringing a couple towels. I actually have a little storage thing I got at the Dollar Tree for my makeup, my hair brushes, toothbrush, all of that is going to be in one little contained area. So that's going to work out really convenient. And then I have a washer and dryer in there. So I'm just taking my washer, dryer supplies, and my furniture. I'm not doing a lot of extras right now. My thought is, if I can make it 4 to 6 months, I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to stress over all this. I don't want the hassle of it. So, and I also this has been so hard packing, and I don't want to unpack twice and unpack twice. It just isn't going to work for me. This has been a lot of work and a lot of stress. So as much as I can alleviate it, that's what I'm trying to do now. Tip number 3, and I kind of touched on it a little, but I just want to make it a point. Don't label your stuff. Like if you're packing 3/4 of your kitchen to go to the new house and 1/4 to go to an apartment, don't put kitchen on there. You'll never find anything. You're better off if you say this is kitchen apartment and then kitchen storage. Make sure that you're not commingling so that you're unpacking or dealing with a lot of stuff in the apartment where you don't have room that you don't need. I mean, right now, I know the basic things I need. Can opener, coffee pot, different kinds of things to cook with. I need some cooking utensils. I brought all those with me in one box. So if I couldn't fit them in one box, I didn't take them. Number 4 is really a two-part tip, and that is an open box first. So I'm taking a box over to the apartment this weekend that's got medicine, it's got coffee pot, it's got, paper plates, napkins, paper cups, that kind of thing. Open box first. You want to make sure that you are not losing the things that you need the most that first week. You don't want to be rummaging through things or tearing up your storage trying to find those little things. So my recommendation is do an open box. The second thing that I'm doing that I read this from someone online. I just thought this was such a fantastic idea. I'm taking my suitcases and I'm packing them for the first 2 weeks. I'm going to take 2 suitcases. I'm going to have all my clothes, my toothbrush, my hairbrushes, my makeup, everything like I was going to a hotel. I'm going to put those in the master bedroom, and then when I get to the apartment, I'm going to just unpack them to my bathroom and my bedroom so that I am not missing clothes and socks and underwear and all the stuff that I need to get through the first couple weeks. So that, I think, is going to be a game changer. So take those suitcases, and instead of storing them empty in your storage unit, bring them with you to the apartment or wherever it is you're going and pack for a couple weeks, just like you were going on vacation. Number 6 is vacuum seal the items that are going into storage that you don't need for 6 months. And I'm talking about clothing, bedding, and I don't put any food in storage, but clothing and bedding, vacuum seal them. Now, when we moved into this storage unit, there's always little pests that are going through storage because some people they're not using the noodle. They put food and different kinds of nonsense in their storage units, and it attracts bugs. So our storage unit, they actually set a bomb off before we moved anything into the storage, which was great, but I realized there's bugs. So I actually did an extra step, and I took a box of borax, borax. And if you've never used borax for bugs, it is fantastic. I've had renters a long time ago in the past, and borax is the way to go. So I took about a half a box of borax. I went all around the cracks in my storage because if there's anything coming in, they're not going to be able to go past the borax. I don't know what's in it that makes it so great to keep bugs out, but it's fantastic. Now, if there's a bug that gets in, he ain't going to my new house. That's that. So I'm vacuum sealing all of my clothes that I'm not using, all the bedding I'm not using. I do not want to deal with bugs. I'm terrified of, any kind of pests. I don't want them in my stuff. The second thing, I'm actually kind of going above and beyond probably what a lot of people do, but before I put anything on the storage truck, before we move to Idaho, I'm going to set off another bug bomb with everything in my storage unit. I don't care. I don't want to worry about bugs. They're not my thing. So that's what I'm doing. You do what you like. I think it's really important to kind of protect your things, especially if you're in kind of a long-term storage and you don't want to deal with pests. Protect your stuff. Tip 7 is don't fill your apartment with too much stuff. Just remember, you're going to be moving that again. And if you're going out buying stuff on Amazon and going to Target, going to Walmart and buying a bunch of stuff to decorate your apartment, hello, now you got to move all that stuff along with your storage stuff. That ain't going to happen for me. I'm not hanging anything on the walls. I'm not buying anything to decorate. I'm taking the bare minimum. I'm not there to entertain anybody. It's just me and my husband, and we're just getting through it the best we can. I want to make this simple and functional. Tip number 8 is make a new house box just like you did a new apartment box. So just like I put in my coffee maker and different items that I'm going to need, medication, stuff like that, have a new box, a new house box as well, because you're going to be able to take those items, put them on your kitchen counter, open it up, and be able to function for a few days until you start unpacking. Number 9, a great tip is photograph the boxes before you close the lid. So in my case, I have them all labeled, so I kind of know what's in all of them. But if it's more convenient for you to take a photograph, take a picture so you know, hey, maybe I can just store this in the garage for a month while I get all these other things unpacked. But you don't want to be worrying about not being able to find that one thing when you get to where you're going. It's going to be a lot of work. Just like it was packing, unpacking is also very difficult. So take your time, make sure that you know where things are, you know what are in those boxes or whatever you have. And I don't know if I said it earlier, but wrap the furniture that's going into storage to keep it in nice, pristine condition. And number 10, last tip I'm going to give you is if you're buying a new home or even a home that is, a pre-owned home, keep a new home binder. Keep all the receipts for things that you've done. Keep all the wallpaper swatches, the paint colors, the contracts, the documents you signed. Keep as much of it in one area as possible. They sell really nice, like foldable plastic containers that you can put your items in. I actually have a hard one that I carry, and I also have a nice plastic one that I carry. And it has room for all kinds of different files. It makes it really, really simple when you're trying to keep track of what you need when you're moving. So I hope those tips helped you. I'm in the middle of the chaos right now, but by next week this time, I will be in my new apartment. Everything will be in storage, and hopefully I will be getting back together with my life. So if you're going through a move right now, I hope these tips helped you. I hope it inspired you in some way. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please consider subscribing. Give me a like or a thumbs up, ring that bell for future notifications, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.